Welcome to Lunch and Learn Live with Dr. Todd Royse from Chiropractic First and Rado. Glad you joined me today. Very what I believe is important question today because it has to do with the most important thing that you possess, and that is your health. So the question is, do people go to chiropractors as their primary doctors? And the answer is, I told you the answer would surprise you. The answer is, it's complicated. And the reason that it's complicated is because this body, all 70,000 billion, that's 70 trillion plus cells, is a complicated piece of machinery. So that's not a very easily answered question. The simplest way to answer that question is, yes, people do go to chiropractors as primary doctors. Licensed by the state, every state in the United States licenses chiropractors as primary portal of entry physicians. I don't like to call myself a physician because that means I treat disease. But we are licensed physicians. That means that a person could come to me with diabetes or, God forbid, colon cancer or something else, and I can refer them to the proper specialists as I help them holistically with their true health care. Most of modern healthcare is not really healthcare at all, it's sickness care. So chiropractors, we all look at this a little bit differently, chiropractors, so I don't speak for all chiropractors when I say this. I just speak for my philosophy on this. Some of you are going to like it, some of you are not going to like it, and that's okay because I can't please everyone. I'm just going to do the best I can with the person who's in front of me. So, technically speaking, yes, I do have lots and lots of patients who come in, lots of families who come in, 4 generations of families, all of whom will say, you're our only doctor. Now, I don't think that's the best way to put it, but what often will happen is people will come to me and they'll say, hey, you know, my baby, you've been adjusting my baby since he or she was born. Maybe they're 20 now, maybe they're just a few months old, but they'll say, you're my only doctor. So if they have a problem, they'll ask me, hey, do you think, doctor, do you think I should take this in and get it checked out medically? The answer varies widely. I don't give medical advice like to get people off or on medications. I'm not a licensed medication dispenser, so to speak. I'm not a pharmacist and I'm not a medical doctor, but I do give people pretty good ideas about when it's a good idea to get something else checked out medically. So that being said, there's a reason why my practice is called Chiropractic First. Before it was called Chiropractic First Healing Ministry, it was called Chiropractic First Before Drugs or Surgery. And the reason for that is we believe you should give your body's innate healing power a chance to heal you before resorting to drugs or surgery. So people who have been to good chiropractors for a long time know that chiropractic is not really about the back or about the neck. We help with that a lot, but chiropractic is about the nervous system and getting the whole body healing itself optimally. So in order to do that, we do need to make sure that the neck and the back are healthy. That's how we access the nervous system. If you've been listening for a while, you know that your nervous system controls every single function in your body. From your hormones to your immune system, your digestion, your energy levels, all your cells replicating themselves in a healthy fashion, that's all 100% controlled and regulated by the nervous system. So when subluxations occur in the spine, dis-ease or even disease can proceed from that because the body's not healthy, not functioning right. So our job as chiropractors is to remove the interference to the nervous system and then teach people a good lifestyle to put healthy food and to exercise and deal with their immune system issues, and especially with their what we call above atlas. The atlas is the top bone in the neck. That's what they call in yoga the mouth of God, because that's where all life breathes into the body. So above there we can call a subluxation. Below there, a below atlas subluxation, meaning a misalignment choking off life. But above there, we can have an above atlas subluxation, meaning we're stressed out and we're tired and we're not taking great care of ourselves. So chiropractors can advise you, and typically we look at it as 3 things. If only there were a diagram somewhere where we could talk about the three things. Yes, so the structure, the mental, emotional, and spiritual, and the metabolic and the nutrients. Those are things that we need to really get those under control to be properly healthy. So, back to our first question is, are we primary doctors? Do people use us as their only doctor? They probably will need medical attention somewhere in their lives, but the point of chiropractic is to get sick less often and to express 100% vitality throughout your life. So we might be the first person you see, we might even be the last person somebody ever sees. In fact, I have been a number of times I have been that. But the reality is the purpose of chiropractic is not to say treat every disease. We're not necessarily better at treating back pain than we are at digestive issues or allergies. So when I first got into practice, people would say, and I hear what a lot of medical doctors say, chiropractors, man, they think they can treat everything. They're good for some types of pain and they're good for some types of this, but they're not so good for that. The truth is, chiropractic is good for life. No matter what type of condition you have, if you have a subluxation, a vertebral subluxation that's choking off life to your organ systems, that condition will get worse. If you relieve pressure in the nervous system and help the body heal, and then you put in good nutrients and you work on stress reduction and you work on exercising, you're going to do better than you would otherwise. You may still need some type of medical attention, but I promise you, it's an absolute promise, if you take care of your body, you will need less medical attention. So the answer again is sort of. We're sort of like that. But our main job is to raise the level of function of the body. Those of you who follow me regularly know that yesterday I was scheduled to do this show. I was actually in a medical office during that time. My son needed a sports physical and he wanted to have him look at something on his skin. So I'm not an expert at all diseases, of course. I don't plan to be an expert at disease. I want to be an expert in health. The real question is not how do you treat disease, but how do you get healthy? That's the real future of healthcare, is how do you get and stay healthy? So we waited 2 hours to have him do something that should have been very quick. They did a sports physical, the quickest physical I think I've ever seen. But at times people need medical attention, and it was just kind of a weird irony that I was in a medical office when I was saying, are chiropractors primary doctors? Like, would I totally avoid going to an MD? Of course not. There are places to go to an MD, and if you've been around me for a while, you'll know that. So I hope I've clarified this somewhat. Are chiropractors primary doctors? The answer is sort of. It depends on what you're after. We are the portal of entry for a lot of families that say, hey, what's your opinion on this, doc? Should I go get this checked out elsewhere, or should we just work on our nutrition, our stress management, and our exercise and our chiropractic care? So the answer is it depends. I hope I haven't made more questions for you than I've answered. I hope I've been able to help you clarify. But I do recommend, wherever you live, whether you're in Timbuktu or on Mars or in Australia listening right now, go see a chiropractor regularly. I promise it will benefit you. It may not treat every disease, but you will work a lot better and you'll last a lot longer. So thank you very much for joining me. If, by the way, you want to know where a good chiropractor in your area, wherever you are, leave it in the comments. Just say, need a chiro in Fairfax, Virginia, or wherever you are, and I'll be more than happy to find who I feel is the best chiropractor in your area. Hope it's been a blessing. Go out and make yourself a super, super healthy, amazing day. Enjoy the heat of this summer. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere, then it's probably cold for you. Anyway, have a blessed day. Thanks for joining me.